Yo, peace to the family. You know, it's a long weighted show. It's Astrology 101. But we ain't gonna hit you hard at one time. You know, it's like feeding, peas and carrots to a baby. We ain't gonna give you the steak and the potatoes just yet, but we're gonna definitely give you the nutrition that you need. And with me, I have my lovely co-host, Sister Yaaris Bey.
Peace and love.
One of the best to ever do it.
Oh.
I'm gonna let her introduce herself.
Peace and love, peace and love. Yaaris Bey here, astrologer, full time. And so definitely do energy work. I do astrology, natal charts, birth charts, numerology reports, and I also do tarot. So the energy work is important. We also work on the chakras and everything, you guys. And that's also through your natal chart. So it's a lot of information you gain through your reading, and there's a lot of direction that you gain through your reading. A lot of people do want to learn, and so there are baby steps to take to learning the astrology, and some people collect it very quickly because it's a gift for some people, and some people it's still just an intellectual thing and something you can still gain and utilize the information. So I'm always open to share the information. I go live every full moon and every new moon on my Facebook page, and I'm always available. So I do have a schedule, and we'll get into that, but I can't wait to share some information with you guys about the astrology. A lot of people ask questions all the time, so we can definitely get into it today. All right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And when talking about this, like for when you said a foreign word to the people, you said natal charts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll definitely touch on that. But I say something that they almost are familiar with is sun signs.
Mm-hmm.
People almost know what their sun sign is, or put it like this: they never probably heard the term sun sign, but they just call it their zodiac sign because they think that's all to it.
Yeah.
So most people will call whatever sign they are, their zodiac sign, but it's really just the sun sign. So when we're talking about these sun signs, let me see.
Yeah, your sun sign is more so of your ego self. So a lot of times your sun sign is who you think you are or where you put the most energy in and where you have the biggest gift in your life. And so your ascendant and your moon sign is very important, but we're going to definitely just get into your sun sign. That's who people identify with the most as far as who they really are and what they do the best in their life. So that's why I say that's where your gift is, or where the sun shines the most light on you throughout your life. And so that's what you do the most. And that's also a lot of times people's biggest struggle, whatever their sun sign is. So that's why a lot of people identify with their birthday. So a lot of times, but your birth time is important and your location is important because it says a lot about where you were and it measures your life. So all is well.
Mm-hmm. And the first of the sun signs is Aries.
Mm-hmm.
I just probably want to give like just let you tell them a little bit of facts about the sun sign. Like what would you say about an Aries? Just trying to give them a little sample of what an Aries.
Okay, so with Aries, that's the first sign, and that's with tropical astrology. They start at 0 degrees Aries. And so when the sun is in Aries, because this is the Ram, this is around the time of the year when the Ram is going to the top of this mountain, and this is where they are fighting, a lot of times, or I would say even giving birth. And this is going back to the birth of the Ram in the beginning and the first, and this is a fire and things that are initiating because it's an initiating sign. So where you start your fight at, where you initiate, where you get things at, and where you're a self-starter in general, but Aries are naturally best at being in leadership positions because it's the first sign. So I always say they have 11 other signs behind them, so they have to not be shy, they can't be scared. And a lot of times you meet an Aries, they're not shy, they're not scared, and they tend to have a lot of knowledge because they have to, like I say, collect information and disperse it to 11 other signs that are behind them. So that's why we call them the pioneer or the leader of everything, all as well. Mm-hmm.
And I am an Aries, so I can attest to that. You know, that's my sun sign, I would say. And, and following behind the Aries is this beautiful Taurus.
Oh, yes. Yes, Taurus is ruled by Venus. Oh, I'm sorry. And Aries is ruled by Mars. So that's why that's the aggressive sign, or I would say the warrior sign. Taurus is the second sign. So Taurus is dealing with beauty, possessions, money, gold, everything that we want. So we call Taurus the king or the queen, or sometimes even the banker of the zodiac, because they're holding the money, they hold the value in your life, and the areas in your life that keep you the most secure. And so Taurus is, like I call it, the seatbelt, and Taurus is what keeps you safe. Like I say, it's your vibration, it's your wisdom, and it's also the money in your life. And so this is what makes you valuable in different areas in life, what makes you feel valuable or feel that of a king or a queen. So this is why a lot of Tauruses can be very picky, you know, and they love quality. And even if they never even understood why, they're naturally inside a king or a queen. They're naturally royalty. So that's all as well with that. There's always a reason why we behave a certain way. Mm-hmm. Let me see here.
Hold on, I'm gonna say if you got these people figured out, even though matter of fact, let me remember. Are you a Gemini?
I am a Gemini.
Okay. I was just gonna say, if you got these people figured out, then you know everybody. But you are a Gemini, so if you can help us figure out the Geminis.
The Gemini, I always say in the vehicle of life, the Gemini has been given more than one driver. So that's why the Gemini can go in and out of themselves. And Gemini is always trying to find the gem in self, so the gem in I. And that takes a lot of meditation and studying of the self. So Gemini is the student. And so that's why Geminis are very curious and they're very inquisitive and they love to learn and they can take on a lot at once. They can be multitaskers because, like I say, they have more than one driver. And so they can take turns and one can rest while the other one is working. So that's why Gemini, even in the argument, a Gemini is nonstop because they have a lot of energy and they can keep going. But even in the good way, a Gemini can be a really good teacher because they're really good students. So Geminis have to figure themselves out, and that's why their biggest thing in life is to be understood, or also to find the understanding first and then to be understood. And once they can be understood, they become the intellectual. They learn how to get their message out. And so this is why Geminis can seem so shifty, or a lot of people call them bipolar. However, me, especially being a sun sign Gemini, but you have to learn to figure yourself out, and after a while, you can grasp both energies within one. And that's the duality of a Gemini, which I know all about it. So all is well with that. But that's the duality of the mind as well, because they represent the nervous system. So being able to adjust to different situations.
See, I would never look at Geminis the same. Like, you just really messed me up when you said they got two drivers.
Yeah.
And about the gem in I. Like, that's powerful. You almost made me want to be a bipolar Gemini. Nah, I'm messing with
you got to be able to handle it now.
But we want the people to understand this is just your sun sign, because as we'll probably touch on right after the sun sign, just the lunar sign is your emotion. So these same signs, like let's say if Gemini is your moon sign, then you act more like a Gemini than a sun sign Gemini.
Exactly.
Because it's your emotions that the moon is going to take over. So emotionally, you are a Gemini if that's your moon sign.
Right, and that's where you're most comfortable too. And so your moon sign is what you sound like. So your sun sign can be something else, and your ascendant is what you look like. So you can look like something else, you can really be something else, but you can sound like something else. So a lot of people can guess your sign by either how you look or how you sound, which is your ascendant and your moon. So yeah, most definitely, you can be more of a sign by the ascendant or the moon than by what your actual sun sign is. You're so on it. That was excellent.
Tell me about these lovely Cancers.
The lovely Cancers are very lovely, but not always. But I'm going to get into just the good parts. And that's all of us, all signs. We're going to stick to the positives.
Yeah.
Cancers, very loving, very sweet. The fourth sign. So that goes back to the overall foundation of the chart, of the overall foundation of the zodiac. So that's the mother. That's the home of all the signs. So this is where they gather. This is where they're all comfortable. And so with Cancer, this is why they are the crab. They cling to things. They have a very good memory, and they initiate their thoughts and their emotions. So going back to the parasympathetic system of your body, where you feel things and what tells you whether things are right or wrong, which, we call it the parasympathetic system, but really that's your gut, your God, your guide. And this is why Cancer represents the stomach. And so Cancers, like I say, can be very comfortable people. They make you comfortable, but they have to be comfortable first and have stability in order to offer that to people. But that is a very great place to be, and that's the core of the zodiac. And so that's why I say when you come across a Cancer, they're going to be very stable or unstable, and you'll know very quick, which one they are, which is, like I say, higher or lower self. But Cancers are amazing, and they help us see, and they help us feel, and they help us trust ourselves. So Cancers do very well with holding on to things. That's why I say they have a great memory. So you can't lie to them, and it's hard to do them wrong. But they're very sentimental. So they hold on to things for that reason as well. Excellent memory about moments and things that took place. So they're very poetic, very beautiful people.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, beautiful. That's beautiful. Because I ain't gonna lie, some of the Cancers I know are more like, it remind me of Geminis, because like some of them are night and day. Some Cancers can be the sweetest individual alive, and some can be like lava.
Well, you know what? Yeah, they rule by the moon, so their emotions are ruled by the moon. So their emotions move with the tide. So they are emotional, and they do shift very easily with they're very easily moved. So the littlest thing can make them happy, and the littlest thing can shift their waters and make them sad or mad or mean. So that's why that crab can get crabby on you. And that's why I say an unstable crab will do what? In defensive mode, they'll cling, they'll pinch you. And so crabs can get mean on you, and they will pinch you if they're unsteady and they don't think if they think you mean them harm. So yeah.
That was deep.
Most definitely.
And like this is like the most beautiful sign in the zodiac. Like, before I even knew the word zodiac, and all I knew was a horoscope. Like, if I could have just chose any sign, I just, by looking at it, I wanted to be a Leo.
Yes.
So let me learn what I was so interested in about these Leos.
Yes, so the Leo, I call it the superstar of the zodiac because it's ruled by the sun, which is the superstar of the zodiac. It's the superstar. So it shines light on all of us, and it maintains our light. It maintains our growth of the food, of everything. And so we all need Leo to live, survive, and thrive, which we call sometimes the father of the zodiac as well, outside of Capricorn. And so this is the external father, because this is a linear energy that comes out to us. And so Leo is a superstar because this is where everybody gets the most light. And that's why we're guided by when the sun is out. So that's why during the day, we trust the sun the most, but at night we deal with the moon because the sun, or which is father, he laid down. And so they take different shifts with each other. But so Cancer being ruled by the moon, that's mama, and Leo is sometimes, like I said, daddy, is outside of Capricorn. But Leo represents children, fertility, multiplicity. It helps things to grow. Leo helps us to dance. Leo deals with the solar plexus chakra and the heart. So this is dealing with loyalty, faithfulness, very, very regal sign. This is a sign they can easily get what they want because they also deal with the law of attraction. But that's why Leos, I always say your sun sign is the best part of you, but also the worst part of you. So that's why Leos have to be mindful of what they attract into their life. But a lot of times they don't care because Leos are very brave. And so they have to have a lot of courage with the things that they attract sometimes. They have to be mindful of their thoughts because they're 60 degrees away from Gemini, which is the thought. And so Leos A lot of times can attract things they didn't really want, they didn't know by accident because they're closest to the sun. So with them being closest to the sun, their thoughts, their expressions, everything they say is the loudest. And so the sun is your microphone. And so Leos, they were born with the microphone. So that's why they're very loud, dramatic people. They're very good actors in a good way and in a bad way because they can act their way out of things. They can be liars. But at the same time, they're very beautiful, very bright people. They no different from when the sun first comes up in the rising. That is the energy of a Leo. You can't wait to be around them, and you're sad to see them leave. Very good, beautiful people. So all is well with them. Yeah.
And I'm sorry to the people who might be listening. I made this video for kids, and for some reason, when you set it up like that, they don't even let you comment. But I see y'all in the building. I appreciate y'all, you know. And we're gonna just continue and finish out for y'all. Let me see. Now we on to Virgo.
All right, most definitely. So Virgo is the sixth sign, and so that six is dealing with innocence. That six is dealing with purity. And so with Virgo, this is the virgin of the zodiac, and so this is talking about where we're responsible and where we take care of our duties and our responsibilities. And so this is where we disperse our energy properly and evenly, which is why dealing with Virgo, dealing with the virgin, being very careful, being very methodical. So this is why they're also intellectuals. I also call Virgo the scientists of the zodiac because they measure everything and they have facts for everything and they look at the details of everything. And so this is why we need every sign. Virgo is what keeps us safe, keeps us clean, and they also represent the digestive system. So this is why they break down and help us process information throughout our bodies and they disperse it evenly. And this is why we do this the same way externally, keeps us responsible. Virgo is also what helps us pay the bills to our body and helps us pay the dues to the rest of the signs. So Virgos, like I say, they pay the bills. They're reliable. They're dependable. Your lights are always on around a Virgo. Very beautiful people. They can be too much of a worrywart. They think a lot. Sometimes they think too much, but a lot of times their thoughts are just on time. So that's why they represent the rhythm. They represent the law of rhythm when we talk about the universal laws, because they always maintain a good rhythm. And that's what keeps us alive a lot of times. Because when we release in Virgo, we get to get the faith and the trust and everything in Pisces, which we're going to get into soon. But they have a lot to do with each other, all the signs, because this is our body. So collectively, we're collecting different information through different body systems. So it's just so fantastic how the universe just collects all these numbers and these signs and gives us this information through our bodies, and we all have to align together to get it together. It's so beautiful. But yeah, most definitely Virgo, excellent people, but they think too much.
And is the Libra balanced or unbalanced? You know, I want to learn about
A little bit of both. So in higher self, Libra, the seventh sign, which is a very divine number, that's what makes them the judge or the lawyer, or I would say the god of the zodiac. So this is the sign that accommodates everybody, or the mediator, and this is who everybody comes to. They go to God, they go to judge, or they go to a lawyer. And so this is why I would call Libras the third parties of the zodiac, someone that can make things fair. At lower self, Libras are not always fair. Libras can be one-sided. So when you say balance or unbalanced, it depends on what their relationship with God is like. If they don't have a relationship with God, this makes them very dishonest people. Even if it is a judge or a lawyer, people that you would consider very honest, people you would normally trust. If Libras are not in higher self, the most person you would think you could trust the most are the most one-sided, judgmental people, which normally Libras can be very unjudgmental. That goes back to their air sign, and they're right across. They're not far from Gemini. And so they usually can be flexible and be open to everything. But Libras can decide, because they're right across from Aries. If they decide, they can be combative if they want to be. And so they can, be on both sides. I would say sometimes be not fair because they take everybody's side and seem very, I would say, they can, like, it comes off, they can be like a betrayers. At the very end of it, though, they're the decorators also of the zodiac. So they can decorate everything, make everything nice, make everything even, and put everything and everybody back to where they were. And everybody still gets fed with the Libra. So all is well. But I would say Libra is right across from Aries, because you got to have war to make peace. You got to have peace to get war. So that's why they're not far from each other, where you have to, you got to fight for your peace sometimes. And so this is why this is why Aries is necessary. There's no anything without anything else. Aries is the law of action, and Libra is the law of unity. So I have to bring action into areas where I want unity and peace. So you have to call your troops sometimes to get the balance you're looking for. So that's why Aries is necessary, but all is well.
See, I was just about to bring myself up, the Aries, because I'm a fire sign, and being that I'm a fire sign, Scorpio is also a fire sign. It says something about like Mars is the god of Scorpio also, or Scorpio.
Right. Well, yeah. With
so that's my attack dog in a sense. So I'm surrounded by Scorpions. Everybody I know is a Scorpio. It's like they got a lot of birthdays coming up real soon.
Yeah.
So go ahead and bless them about them.
All right. With Scorpio, it was originally, so I'll go into both. It was originally a fire sign. It is considered now a water sign. Originally, it was ruled by Mars, so that's why it was considered a fire sign. And that's the original ancient astrology. So you're completely correct. So I'm not correcting you. However, they do consider it to be a water sign now. And the reason why is because they gave that fire and that power over some years ago. They gave that power and fire over to Aries. And so now they have Pluto ruling Scorpio. However, it is still a battle sign. It still does a lot of the same things that Aries does. So let's just say that Mars and Scorpio had a baby, and Mars and Pluto had a baby, I would say, and it came out as Scorpio, but then Mars went and had another baby and it came out Aries. They're still the same. They act the same. They just have the same parents. They do the same things. And so Scorpio can be a very beautiful sign that's full of control. They love control. You got to think about the Scorpion. You got to think about the way they creep up on things. And so Scorpios have very good sight. They can be a very good judge of character because Scorpions like to live. So you got to think about survival. Scorpios love to take things apart and take things completely apart, but they can put things back together the exact same way. So that's why I say they're like the surgeon of the zodiac. But sometimes I call them the investigator of the zodiac because they can see really good and they're very thorough and they don't stop until they get enough. They don't stop until things are complete. And so their phrase is, I complete things. They're completers. And so that goes back to they're the beginning and the original end of the zodiac. So that's why you were not wrong about that. They are the original mist of the waters, even in the Bible, the beginning of the waters, and the darkness is of Scorpio. And so this goes back to the reproductive system and of the womb of the woman. This is why this is a feminine original sign of the zodiac. Very, very powerful sign. When you get on that bad side, this is why the stinger is here, but it takes a long time for that stinger to get there. So that's why they can be very vengeful and they'll get you when you least expect it. And so Scorpios keep their friends close and their enemies way, way closer. So I'm not saying you can't trust them. I'm just saying the closer you are to them, they're either trying to put you back together and heal you, or they do have something behind their back. Scorpios are very watchful. They have really good eyes, very mysterious. I call them sometimes also the undertaker of the zodiac. They know how to bury things very well. They're very secretive, but they're also the ones who can dig things back up very well. So they're the ones who know the ancient secrets. That's why I say they're the original sign. So they have all the ancient secrets. They have all the original work. This Scorpio is of X. And so, the X of the feminine. And so that's why it's deep, 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 deep information, deep within, deep at the bottom of the oceans, I would even say. So you can't go no further than the bottom of a woman. So that's why I say to get this information, a man has to enter a woman to enter these gates, to collect the information here in Scorpio. And then you have to regenerate these things. This is where your children come from. So it's a very powerful place and very fertile place to be. And it's fertile just like Leo, but they challenge each other because Scorpio is a very dark place. Leo is a very bright place. And they challenge each other because it's ruled by Okay. So you want me to pick back up now?
I don't know if there was anything else you wanted to finish about
with Scorpio.
But we finished.
So yeah. Well, with Scorpio, I think I was leaving off with Scorpio being ruled by Pluto, and so Pluto is the furthest away from the sun. So which is why we call Pluto a very dark planet, and a lot of people don't even consider it a planet anymore. Because it's so small and because it's the distance from the sun. And so this would make Scorpios sometimes tend to be dark people or secretive people or mysterious because they are naturally furthest from the sun. So that's where that shadow in them comes from, or that dark energy comes from. And it's not always a bad energy. So even a child Scorpio is just a very thorough person and a very observant person. I would say that. So all is well with that, the Scorpios.
Now on to the Minotaur himself, you know, the half man, half horse. Am I right? The Sagittarius?
Yeah, Sagittarius. So yeah, it's Centaur. So yeah, that's the teacher, and we call that the goal. And I would call it the elevation and the destination of the zodiac. So Sagittarius is the ninth sign. So that's talking about. So this is all still aligned with numerology, which is why I mentioned the what number sign it is. So with that number 9, it's a very divine number, and it's talking about how far you're going. It's just talking about your future. It's talking about your ambitions, and I also call it the highway. So Sagittarius talks about their aim. That's why they have the bow and arrow. They shoot very far. They're the visionaries. They see very far. They can pretty much see into the future. They have very vivid dreams a lot of times. Very big. Their goals are very big. Everything about them is big. A lot of times, if they have a Sagittarius ascendant, a Sagittarius tend to be very big people, or they tend to think very big. So even if they're a small or short person, they still like big cars. They have big dreams. Everything about them is just very huge on a huge scale, and it's ruled by Jupiter. And so Jupiter is the biggest planet, of course. So Jupiter represents favor and elevation, everything that gets you where you're going. So I also call it your map. Where you want to go, Jupiter is going to take you there. And so Sagittarius tend to be very exaggerated individuals. They tend to be exaggerated in their words, in their clothing, everything, but they're also the teacher. And so that's why I say that they're always on the roll, they're always on the move, they're always on the road. And that makes them, I would even call them the nomad of the zodiac, because they're always running from something or to something, but they're always on the road and traveling to gather information to go back and teach people or to tell their side of the story, which also makes them, you know, really good storytellers. So Sagittarius are really good, but they have a very bad temper. So that's the worst temper of the zodiac. Sagittarius, they're very loud, very exaggerated, even when in their anger. But they sit on their high horse, because that goes back to the centaur. They're a lot of information, so they tend to sit on their high horse. They tend to have a, you know, sarcastic mouth about them, but they a lot of times are right with what they're saying. Their tone is not always right, which is why they oppose Gemini, and that's why they're 150 degrees away from Taurus. Their tone is not always right, but a lot of times they are right. They can oversee a lot. So yes, Sagittarius is a good sign. That's right at your root chakra and your solar plexus. So that's your level of excitement. And I'm sorry, it's also at your throat chakra, the things that you say, how far they let you go in life with Sagittarius. So all is well with them.
And when I see Sagittarius, to me, I know I see Taurus. That's why, like you said, a centaur, you know, or a minotaur, however they want to, you know, mix it up. But you know, the Taur meaning Taurus, and I see like the word sage, you know, look like they're a sage Taurus, you know, and you know, sage not only being a healing plant, but a sage when it comes to humans, meaning wise. You know, like a wise person would be a sage. So yeah, I see the word sage and Taurus together when I see Sagittarius. And
that's so amazing. I love your mind.
I
How you even did that?
Yeah. In the Capricorn.
Oh yeah.
Teach me about my friends, because I know some people that's gonna watch this right now just because of that one sign.
That goat, that good old goat. So Capricorn is the father of the zodiac, ruled by Saturn. So Saturn is talking about the structure, the discipline, and the work of the zodiac. And I also call them the investors, because Capricorn is the father, and I'll also say a good husband and a good supervisor of the zodiac. And so that's why they invest in people, they invest in things. Now, they also get a bad rap sometimes of being called the devil, because they can be very materialistic. So that even goes back to the goat, and that also goes back to Saturn and everything. Saturn being a goat, which a lot of people, like I say, consider the devil. And that's just saying that sometimes they'll move anything out of their way to be the best. So that's why the goat is the greatest of all time. And Capricorn are very intellectual. They're very smart. They're very good at being resourceful. I mean, they really are the supervisor. They're very good at being the person of authority. In their lower self, they need authority. In their lower self, they lack discipline. But in their best self, man, they get you where you're going. And so you want to pay attention to Capricorns in your life, because they will definitely be the ones that know people, and they definitely be the ones that can get you in a good position. But you also want to be mindful of them in lower self, because like I said, they will step on you and anybody else to get to where they want to get, because they can also use people. But they are very beautiful people. They are people that will, like I say, will invest in you because they represent time. And so that's why Capricorns don't like to waste time, or wherever you have it at in your chart. And you'll even see a little child, a 5 or 6 year old, something about them would be so serious, and it's a Capricorn, because they just got somewhere to be. They got things to do. So Capricorns are they're fantastic, and they seem kind of tough and kind of mean, but they're so gushy on the inside. They're so sweet, but they come off mean. They just don't like to waste time. They don't like to waste money. They don't like to waste energy. Other than that, if you're worth it, and they represent the cipher, so if you're worth it and you can fit in their cipher and not take anything away from them, all is well with a Capricorn when you have them in your space. So all is well with them. They're good. It's a whole lot more I can go in there, but no, I ain't gonna go in on too much. None of the signs, but yeah, Capricorn is good.
And speaking of Capricorn, I see the word caprice, and just the word caprice alone, it means a sudden, unpredictable change as of one's mind or the weather. So basically, like a Capricorn, their mind could change like the weather,
Most definitely.
And it's pretty much saying it in the word caprice by itself. But I see, just like we see Aquarius, I'm seeing that aqua. So, the kingdom of the aqua, Aquarius, would be an aquarium. I'm just saying, but
indeed.
But teach me about our Aquariuses.
Aquariuses are intellectuals, and those are our inventors. So those are our unicorns of the zodiac. Those are very special people who just know how to collect information very fast. So they're just like a Gemini, but I'll call them an older Gemini, meaning they can move faster. So all the air signs are the signs that collect the most information. And I always say the fire signs are the ones that protect us. They look out, and the water signs look in, and the earth signs look down. So this is why we all in the vehicle together, collectively, everybody's looking in different directions to know which way is the way. So with Aquarius invents things. They represent miracles and disasters. So out of disaster, we create the miracle of things we invent. And when we don't have things, we invent these things. And so that's why now, even in the age of Aquarius, which some, depending on some astrologers, would agree or argue that it's the age of Aquarius right now. But anyway, that's just talking about new things, new situations, innovation. So that's why I call them the game changer. They come and change up everything. And they definitely make us look at things differently. So they deal with computers, they deal with technology, they deal with our clothes, the way we think, all of those things. Aquarius is also at their lower self are the weird ones. So a lot of times Aquarius, when you're talking about or what we call weird or what we call different or unconventional. And so this is where a lot of people have major placements when they're talking about people who are, suffer from autism, if you're blind, deaf, a lot of those things, sensitivity to different things, all of that. That's why I said those are special people, are game changers. And those are the reasons why those type of people are the reasons why they create changes in the way we live our life and the way we do things. So that's why they can represent the small groups, organizations, things like that of special people or like-minded people who live a certain way. And so Aquariuses are very special and unique, and they have to develop that as they get older, or they're going to always feel odd. So they can be 50 years old and still having that awkwardness, or they can decide to make that something different and go into the world and say, hey, y'all, this is the new style for Aquariuses, and this is what makes them so special. But they have to have confidence to do it. So I don't, even if it's a club foot, if it's a gap in your teeth, whatever, Aquariuses have to decide, hey, this is the new style, and y'all just gonna like me for who I am. And that's what makes everybody adjust. And we just decide, hey, that's the new style. This is what's what, and we're not mad at about it. And so that's what makes us, the adjustment of Aquarius is just so fantastic. And they make us adjust our minds to things that happen. And this, for it to be their sun sign, they naturally do it. They can wake up in the morning and it can be a tornado and they know how to adjust faster than everybody else. Everybody else still running around getting their stuff together. Aquarius just like, hey, well, wherever happens, happens. And that's just an amazing mindset to have. So Aquariuses are great. We need them. They are great. So they make us, they make everybody a little bit more confident with themselves, whatever makes you different. So I like Aquariuses a lot. Yeah.
And the sister Yasini was sending a message saying wholeness to the goddess Yaaris Bey.
Oh, peace and love, wholeness, most definitely. All is well.
Matter of fact, right before we do pie, let me just show you. I said pie, but Pisces, because I wanted to actually show this pie symbol. Just right quick. Hold on. Hold on. 1 second. You know the symbol for pi. Hope I did that. And I didn't even get the images. That's what I meant to get. Yeah. Make sure. Okay, there we go.
I love that. You are so amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. See, look.
Oh my God.
And this symbol for pi, if we noticing, this is what that that zodiac, those two fish were just looking like. One is curved, one is curved this way, and the other one's going that way. And we'll go right back to the zodiac to prove it.
Man, praise Allah. You be going in your mind. Who thinks like that?
I gotta be able to add, I gotta be able to add something to all these jewels you dropping.
But you really going in. I'm sorry, go ahead. Man, that's so dope.
I mean, only thing I'm missing is a line connecting the two fish, and it would be the whole pi symbol. And we saying Pisces. So, I'm gonna get in, I'm gonna find out I'm gonna do the math on this one. Trust me. But tell them about the 12th sign of the zodiac, the Pisces. That'll be the final sign today.
Right, and we'll definitely be doing more because this is just fun. Anyway, so yeah, Pisces is a 12th sign. So Pisces is talking about your trust, your faith, and your belief. And with that 12, the 12 is talking about also a supreme understanding. So this is why it's a spiritual sign and it's a water sign. So it's talking about your intuition. It's talking about looking within, and it's talking about your relationship with the divine. Now, this is the last and final sign, final phase, and last degree that everybody has to gain. And so this is talking about the law of reflection, and this is talking about the law of gender. So this is talking about how everything is everything, and this is a level of acceptance of everything. Because Aquarius is the tolerance of it all. So Pisces, right after tolerance, is just to accept. And so this is why we call this a Christ sign. And Leo is also a Christ sign. Leo, we call this the outer Christ. Which is your outer faith, what you actually can see, which is man. This is why I say the son, the father, the brother is the son, which is Christ. That's Leo, which is the son we see every day. But Pisces is the inner faith, the inner Christ, what you can't see. So Pisces is your blind faith, which is so fantastic. So this is why all of this also still ties back into the Bible, which is why I say don't throw any books away. I don't care what it is, because astrology is the collection of all faiths. So astrology is not a religion, but if we call it a religion, it's the mama of our religions. So it gave birth to every belief. And so that's why I say everybody got their style from astrology. That's the first dance move of the universe. And so, but Pisces is this spiritual teacher. And so this is why, of course, even children, Pisces are old souls. So this is why even a 2 or 3 year old Pisces is the old soul. They just got back, but they got a new vehicle. But they still doing unfinished business. So a lot of times Pisces that's the Pisces, Sagittarius, and Gemini, and I would also say Virgo are the main vehicles when we're talking about our ancestors. They like to hop in vehicles like that. Sagittarius is a large vehicle, so this is why somebody might seem like they have multiple personalities. Same thing with Gemini. It's just ancestors are open their major portals, so ancestors jump in those vehicles, and that's why they can take in more than one personality, and that's why it appears this way socially, that these people have issues. So even going back to Pisces, that's a double sign. They can take in more than one energy at a time, and these energies don't have bodies, so that's why we call them spirits or our ancestors, and they can take in a lot of messages. And that goes back to why Pisces is the last degree. Pisces tend to be very distracted people. These people tend to have the most dependency issues, smoking, drinking, things like that, because they have such an overload of messages. So this is why they turn up, end up being the coulda, shoulda, wouldas, and the people singing on the side of the road at their lowest self, because Pisces gets the most messages from the other side. And so these are the mediums. These are the people who can really take in things. They have very, very vivid dreams, all of those things. And that's why I say even children Pisces have issues sleeping and all of that. They're coming into their awakening early. And that's why a lot of times that goes back to why they might have mental issues and all of that. Pisces spend a lot of time. You see a lot of them on medicines or spending time in mental institutions. And I'm saying all this now for anybody who child that is a sun sign Pisces or Pisces ascendant, because that it appears, that's why I always say that socially that something may be wrong when everything is quite right about them. They're very, very divine. And so that's why I say they can be the most distracted on drugs, on the medicine, because socially we don't accept the messages that they have, when they're very beautiful people. That's why they represent the feet. They go feet first into everything. They jump first. They have faith first. Aries is the eyes first. Aries has to see first, which is quite okay. Every sign moves differently. So Aries has to see first before they jump, which they need the information before they just move. But Pisces doesn't need to see. Pisces just jumps because they have so much faith. And sometimes too much faith, meaning they trust in the wrong things, which is why they get hurt the most. They jump and they get hurt. They don't look. And so that's why we have to know when to have what sign around us. Pisces is the safest when they're around a Aries, or when they're around, I would even say a Scorpio. Scorpio is also a water sign, but Scorpio does things that an Aries does. They just do it in the water. And so they're very thorough, and they can take something out. And Pisces, because they're very powerful, they know not what they do, because they also represent the subconscious mind and the pineal gland. So if you're not adding structure to it, prayer, meditation, and telling your subconscious what to do, that's why you can be very foolish and easily misled. And I'm just going very thorough with Pisces, because that's the last sign, but that's a combination of all the signs, which is why I say they collect everybody's messages. And that's why they be the most confused, somewhere sick, because they have, they represent the lymphatic system. So they easily get sick from other people's energy, other people, if they actually are sick, and all of those things. But Pisces is a very, very beautiful sign in higher self. In lower self, they're the most foolish, distracting person. You want to take care of them, you want to love on them in lower self. They don't know anything, but in higher self, they magical. They're Christ. They can do a lot of things that are outside of the human eye. You'd be like, wow, how did you do that? When they utilize their energy properly. So Pisces are good. They really are good. We just gotta love on them, because they fall the hardest. They fall harder than everybody else, because they rise the highest. So that's what I'm saying. All is well with them. But yeah, they're good people. And they can act innocent too. When they lying, they love to make you feel bad for them. So pay attention to that too. They full of crap. But they're good people though.
It made me appreciate the way that all of this signs and things tie together, especially like we say, fire signs, water signs, air signs. See, what we really getting at is how deep it goes. Because I like to think I'm not famous for it, but I am the one who definitely, like, I know I didn't learn it from anybody, and I be bringing this science. So I be saying that fire is water.
Oh, it is. You better speak this word today, man. Y'all better listen to him, man.
So it surprised me, and it was beautiful the way you said Scorpio does everything the Aries does, just in the water.
Yeah.
The air is water. We know ice is water in its solid form, and the water that we swim in, we know that is water, but we don't know the air is water, and we don't put two and two together that fire can't breathe without air. So fire is air, but air is what? Air is water. So the fire is water. You feel me? So it's just us manifesting and transforming, you know, being those ethers, being that the all, because I call water the all. And like back to the Pisces sign, one second, how I was just saying how it looks like it. I think other signs, somebody must already have noticed that too, because this is really like the sign for Pisces. Or hold on, let me go back. You know, they just bring the line down, but it's still, you know, it's still Pisces. But at the same time, when you put the line on the top, we know we're dealing with the symbol of pi.
Right. No, you're
You
on
know,
to something. You got me about to look into some stuff even deeper now. Yo, you don't even understand what you just did when you told me, when you said that.
light bulb. I already know. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, Pisces gonna make me come check her out and you know, and see what she got to do with this math, because it's always some math and all every symbol that we looking at, you know, and people not doing the equations, but this was beautiful. And if you just want to let the people know, like all of those sun signs that we just studied, like how do they pertain to a person? Now we're not going to go through each one because we already explained what they are. But what does a moon sign mean? Like if one of these signs are my moon, what does it mean to have a moon sign?
Your moon sign is how you feel the most of the time. So the moon sign is what I call, okay, I don't know what other astrologers, but I call it your spiritual homeostasis. So meaning that's what keeps you the most, what makes you flow and keeps you afloat the most. Because your moon is your waters, right? So your moon is what keeps you afloat. The moon is the tide, meaning this is what keeps this person the most balanced, and this is what brings this person the most comfort, whatever your moon sign is. And it's also meaning this is also what can make you the most uncomfortable. So whatever your best part of your sign is also still the worst thing. Your sun sign is the best part of you and the worst part of you. And your sun sign has a lot to do with your death. So that's what I'm saying. The thing that brings you light has a whole lot to do with when your lights go out. And a lot of people don't pay attention to that. So we love going, oh, I'm this sign, I'm that sign. Okay, the best part of you is the worst part of you. And so same thing with your moon. The thing that brings you the most comfort is also the thing that makes you the most uncomfortable. And so, for example, and you're right, I'm not going to go through every sign. I'm just going to just name a couple. For example, like an Aries moon. What makes somebody the most comfortable with the Aries moon? So let's just go back to the Aries sun. The Aries sun is the first sign. It's the leadership position. It's the leader sign. It's already the one with the information to tell everybody else what to do. This is the one that's delegating. Hey, you do this, you do that. Okay, so an Aries moon, this is what makes somebody the most comfortable. So they can be a sun sign Taurus, but if you have an Aries moon, meaning my spiritual homeostasis, what keeps me the most comfortable, as I'm a sun sign Taurus, I do the best at doing Taurus things, but I'm the most comfortable when I'm the boss, when I'm in front, meaning because they have an Aries moon. So this is a Taurus, this is a bull who wants to be in the front. Now that explains somebody's sun sign and their moon sign. I'm a Taurus, but I feel like an Aries. So I'm a bull, but I feel like a ram, is what this person is telling you. So they saying, hey, I'm not a slow Taurus. This is a fast moving bull. This bull will really get you, is what they're saying. Because the Taurus is normally very calm and docile. Now a bull, the Taurus will get you, but it takes a lot. But when it's the Taurus with the Aries moon, they'll get you a lot faster than a natural Taurus would. And so that's why you have to understand that. Like me, I'm a sun sign Gemini, but my moon sign is in Cancer. So I'm a Gemini, but I feel the most comfortable doing Cancer things. And Cancer is the magician. Cancer is the nurturer. Cancer is the mama. Cancer is also the one that's intuitive, or the psychic. So that's why I'm naturally, everybody knows me. See, I'm popular for being a Gemini, talking, communicating, and all of that. But I feel the most comfortable doing it. I talk like your mom. I talk like, someone that loves on you and nurtures you. And I talk using my intuition when I do talk. So I'm a sun sign Gemini, but I feel best doing it when I do it the way a Cancer does it. And that's what makes us now we start to know, oh, she's not a normal Gemini. So that's why when somebody goes, oh, you one of those crazy Geminis. No, actually, my Cancer moon backs me up that I'm not that crazy, you know, that I'm actually very solid in my emotions, and I know how to make solid decisions, because a natural sun sign Gemini doesn't. So that's what makes you different. That's why I say it's like 400 to 500 different types of Geminis, Aries, different signs. It's 400 to 500 different types of combinations when you bring in somebody's ascendant and their moon sign. So that's why people be like, oh, I'm not a regular Gemini, or I'm not the typical Scorpio. And they're right. They're right. They're saying I don't normally do the same Scorpio or Gemini things, because their moon sign is what saves them, saying, no, but I feel comfortable doing this the most though. So all is well.
Yes, we definitely appreciate you. And this is, you know, a beautiful introduction into astrology. And anybody who's either ready to, you know, tackle this full steam ahead, or anybody that's already in the depth, you can definitely contact my sister Yaaris Bey. And the best thing about her, she's just not the type to sell you your natal chart. And I mean, sell you your natal chart and then, you know, let you just try to figure this out. You know, the best thing about it is being able to have somebody like her you can call and, you know, actually get a little more in depth with your specific natal chart. Because, you know, going through her, she'll be able to have it as well as you, and she'll help you understand every word you see. Because it's not as simple as you want to expect. It's almost like a child or a young person reading the Bible. It ain't that easy, you know. So I would, if you were in the depth, I would recommend my sister. Her patience is incomparable. You feel me? And she definitely knows how to make things simple. So as you can tell, as y'all can tell through the video, it is going to be a pleasant experience, and I definitely recommend my sister. And I appreciate my Pisces and all my other zodiacs in the building. And
peace and love, everybody.
Let the people know where they can follow you, where they can find you.
Oh yeah, reach out to me, you guys. So my website is peacebyyaari.com. I'm on Facebook, Yaaris Bey. I'm also on Instagram, Yaaris Bey. Full name just Yaaris Bey, YAARISBEY. I'm also on Instagram. No, I say Instagram. Twitter, same thing, Yaaris Bey. And so reach out to me. My number is up here. You can also reach out to me through email, piece by piece, KT. And you can book with me anytime, and we can go through it. I would just need your birthday, your birth time, and your location of birth. Your birth time is very important. It makes it very, very accurate. You want to get as close to, the exact time as possible to make it, the best experience. But it's still good even without the exact time. I would definitely suggest to get it done, especially anybody who's trying to figure out something about their relationship, money, work, even your child. So I do children's natal charts as well. It's very, very, just very helpful with raising children. I do my children's charts every week, and it helps a lot with their behaviors and just kind of knowing their next move. So I don't want to go too much, but the astrology is for all of us, you guys, and the science is for all of us. And I just say jump on it as much as you can. Anybody, but reach out to me, of course, but anybody that you just feel in tune with, you feel their vibration when they're talking about our science. Anybody that sounds like home, just go there and get the information, you guys. All is well.
For real. Because the last thing I would say is that this is the true knowledge of self. It's just like Noble Drew Ali was saying, okay, study self, from your head to your toes, and what you put inside of your body. And then they be like, okay, well, after I done studied all of me, what else should I study? He says, study self some more. So that means now we need to go into the natal charts and etc. to even deeply, more deeply know ourselves. So this is that knowledge of self, and this is just how you keep studying self, real for real.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and peace and love. I love everybody because it makes you appreciate yourself and each other so much more. And so your journey is just gonna have so much more color to the picture when you do it. So
somebody asked for your email or the website, either one.
Oh, okay, I can just put it in the comments or something.
Or I can, either one.
Okay. The email, you can do KCHERE
You say,
brand@gmail.com.
say the
Hold up,
first
I'll
email?
try to put it in. Oh, K, the letter K, and then C, the letter CHERE, and then the word brand, BRAND, @gmail.com. And then they can also call the number, because the number is going to come straight to my line. I have 3 different lines, but that's my main line. So even if they call the number or if they text the number, they can still reach me through the number as well. So if people don't want to call, they can just still text it. That's fine too.
So it's KCERE brand at Gmail.
CHERE. So yeah, everything else put an H. Yeah, KCHERE brand @gmail.
How we looking?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there you go. See, look, I know I'm difficult, but you did it. He's like, with your difficult tale.
However I can help the people. Yeah, now we got it though. We got it. Yep. Y'all make sure y'all follow up and y'all get ready, because hopefully by next week when we do this next show, I really wanted to be able to tap in. Oh yeah. I told my sister that we're gonna probably have to do a whole show just on the so-called 13th sign or Fucus, on its own. But I just wanted to get the normal 12 out of there. And people
we'll get into that one.
Yeah, but most definitely I wanted to just prepare them for the next topic, which probably will be God, your God versus your dog. I'm not gonna get her started, because she gonna blow y'all minds. So I'm gonna just save that into the next show.
All is well, most definitely. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you guys for listening. This was good. I can't wait to speak with you guys next week.
For sure. So y'all give her a call, and y'all tune in next week. Most likely it'll be like maybe every Thursday, or it could be a Tuesday. Y'all just be prepared. We coming.